Great. That's the video recording now, and welcome to Ian from Rapid SwapBot. My name is Bryden. I'm CEO of Hummingbird Finance, and we were. You probably saw the announcement recently. We're very excited to be partnering with Rapid SwapBot. So, Ian, what can you tell us? About it. How did it all start? Why did you decide to make a buy bot?
So let me, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, and I'm really, really excited about our partnership, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today in front of the community. Let me briefly tell you about myself, about my story. So as I mentioned originally, I originally came from Moscow, from Russia, a while back, a long time ago, in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And moved to New York and started working as a developer shortly after, like a few years after. Obviously, there was no blockchain at the time, so I spent most of my time as a developer working on technologies built by Microsoft,
Yeah.
working with different companies, mostly enterprise applications. And in around 2018, I started learning blockchain technologies.
Mm-hmm.
Was doing some different prototypes for myself, was playing around with different technologies, started participating in different projects. And the one thing that I noticed that almost in all groups, there were always people who were asking for contract address, for instructions on how to buy, for decimals, for slippage, and there were the same questions almost everywhere.
And it's very complicated as well. I know there's always the how to buy videos on the website and how to buy videos. I noticed that when I was admin, it's just permanent questions and the same questions because it seems very complicated to buy.
Exactly, especially for someone who is new to this, right? So not only valid questions about the contract address, but also on like what you mentioned, right? Like how do I do that, right? So for someone new, it was very difficult to explain. Okay, if you're on the phone, then go to this wallet, use this browser for decentralized app, and on this phone it's restricted. On this phone, it's not restricted. So do this, do that, do that. So it was a challenge to explain it. And
It's
I
also the
started.
dangers as well along, you mention all those different steps, but on each step there are dangers and scammers and fake websites that are trying to trip you up.
Exactly. Yes, precisely. Right. So it took time. It took a lot of time with each person because each one needed help individually. And yeah, and I started thinking, I started analyzing all of this. How is it possible to make it easier for people to do that, right? Is it possible to optimize it somehow without
Yeah.
having to redirect people to other technologies, other devices, and slowly I came up with this idea, and yeah, that's pretty much how how it all started. So I started working on it about 6-7 months ago,
Yeah.
around January, February. This is where I formulated the idea and started working on it.
So there's a lot of buy bots that are used all the time, regularly. Like that Bobby bot and is just one of them. Uh, is that how you started? Did you look at the bots that existed and think, well, you know, how can I improve it, or did you just start from scratch?
Well, those are just the notification bots. So
Yeah.
they don't actually allow people to swap tokens. And but that functionality I actually added after the core functionality was implemented.
So originally, then it was kind of the swap side was the core part of the app.
Right, exactly. So the core was swap functionality, and not just swap functionality. So the way when I was thinking how to make it easier for people, especially for someone new, I thought that not only I should allow to people to swap it easier, but also everything should be pre-configured for them, right? So when they go to a group, it should be responsibility of admins to set all of these items, which are contract address, decimal, slippage, right? So for a person, when they come into a group, they can just click buy and everything will be set. So the only thing they would need to do is just proceed with the swap.
And how's that being? Are you able to see on the back end the quantity of people that are using it, or if they're or if they're getting so far and stopping? Are you able to see that kind of information to help improve things? Does that
So
show up?
initially there was skepticism, obviously, because it's a bot on Telegram, and
Yeah,
those two things are usually not something that people are open to right away.
yeah,
But after a while, I started to see transactions coming in, so that's a good sign, and obviously we'll continue working on spreading the word on explaining how exactly our application works, so that way we can maybe not completely eliminate, but at least reduce uh, I guess amount of that skepticism, right? It reduce
yeah.
unknown that. So whatever, how to formulate it. I'm still looking for correct words even after so many years living here.
Well, I think the trust should come from the community because it's the project that adds the bot to their group. Um, then it should be trusted because of that, shouldn't it?
Exactly. Yes, that definitely helps significantly because it is being used by the community.
Yeah. And is in the team, is it just yourself, or is there other members of the team?
So uh, uh, we have members of the team. So on the marketing side, Morph is helping me a lot. You're acquainted with Morph, so I have also
Yeah,
Faladun and Haris who are helping me big time with the community. And on with design, you're looking at this website.
yeah,
This design was created by D-Rob, who is also part of the team. On the development side, most of the work was done by myself, but there were
yeah,
components here and there that I was outsourcing little pieces. Like for example, like with the design, right? With something
yeah,
that I did not have experience with, I decided that instead of spending extra time to learn something, to build something like to uh, uh, which was not the core feature of the product, I decided to hire people. So there were uh, two talented individuals who helped me with that as well. But development was mostly, I would say, 95% was done by myself. It's my
and I've really,
experience with.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying I've just really enjoyed the process, helping out with the beta, and then sharing it with the core team, and then getting feedback, and then the feedback, seeing how it's improved. Like the example, you had that idea of wanting to add the GIF at a certain amount of a sale. Because at first, having the little video GIF is great, but then after a while, people think, oh, it's taken up to, or it's just repetitive, or it's the same. And then when you mentioned about adding the feature where you can set the bot to show the notification to show a video at a certain level. I was really excited about that because then it changed the video I used. You know, instead of just using an advertising video about about Heg or Hummingbird Finance, then set it to when it's over £200 a buy. Then the video, kind of an exciting video you can share. Like a awesome or a big bang or whatever you want, and it changes the narrative of the notification so that and I do like how easy it is to edit as well within the Telegram group. I've really enjoyed that. It's nice and easy to use, easy to set up, and I think that's
Thank you.
if it's easy to set up for me, then it must be easy to use, for the end user as well.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. And to be fair, this was not our original idea. I saw that feature, but one thing I wanted to say is I really appreciate you and your team's feedback. It helps us a lot improving the product because we received a lot of useful ideas, a lot of really helpful feedback from you and your team, and thank you for that as well. So I think this was the first first result of our partnership, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to many more things that we can do together. But thank you again for that.
yeah, because there'll be lots of things that can be added to the bot that have not been thought about yet. And that's what's exciting as things develop. And people, some great ideas have come from community members, and it's only so we welcome feedback from the community, and we're always listening as well. Because what I liked about the recommendations that came from a core team member is it was very quick. There was only a day or two, or just a day, and then it was up there to try. There was no weeks of waiting or trying to contact people. It was just thought about, and then it was actions, and that was exciting to see as well.
Yep, thank you. Yeah, and that's one of our advantages, that most of the things are done in-house, so we can quickly implement different features. We can quickly make changes. So we try to try different things all the time and to improve
Yeah,
the product.
and when you started developing it, then were there any particular challenges that you had to overcome that was
Um,
frustrating?
uh, I wouldn't say challenges. I would say amount of new things I had to learn. I think over the last 6 months, I probably learned more than, I don't know, 15 years before that,
Yeah,
because every day there is something new. Not only technologies, but also different services, different
yeah,
products, different companies. And you have to keep up with all of that, and not just keep up, but you have to know how to implement all of that. You have to remember all of that. So
yeah,
I guess that was the biggest challenge.
yeah. Remembering is my biggest challenge. Yeah.
Exactly.
And what's Telegram like to work with then with their UI for plugging this in? Is it quite a straightforward thing, or is it? Have
It,
Telegram made it easy for you, or complicated?
uh, there are some nuances, but overall, I would say that it's enjoyable experience to work with their SDK. So it's really stable in my opinion. It works as expected, and unlike, for example, other open source projects that are being changed often, that are not always uh, stable all the time, right? Sometimes when changes are made, things break, or things are undocumented, which is another challenge with open source technologies. With
Yeah,
Telegram, it's a little bit easier because everything is structured, documented, so it's easy to follow.
And one of the questions that you touched on earlier, and people often ask, is the security side of it. Now, how can people know that it's secure to use it?
So first thing I wanted to emphasize that we do not ask for seed phrase for private key. Not only we do not ask, we do not want that information. We do not want the responsibility of handling that, because this is a really sensitive topic in this sphere. So it's a big responsibility
Yeah,
to hold that information. And so we right away I decided that the only approach would be using Wallet Connect, because with Wallet Connect, we do not have access to this, right? So the only thing that when initiating connection, first, the only thing that we have access to is the address of the wallet, and then we can check balances to show them on screen. And
yeah,
all of the transactions, we cannot submit any transactions without those transactions being approved by user inside the wallet and signed by the wallet, right? So that's also something that is good for us, because we don't want any responsibility, we don't want any extra knowledge about user's wallet, about private keys, about seed phrases. So that's number one.
yeah,
Number two, communication between all of the components is encrypted. And there are additional checks on our side to make sure that Telegram communication with Telegram service is secure as well. On top of
yeah,
what Telegram offers, we also added additional checks. Yeah, and yeah, I guess main thing is that we do not want that information that could put us at risk. So basically, that's the
yeah,
main thing.
yeah. And is this only for Telegram? Are they other platforms that you haven't added it to yet that could be added that it could be added to? Is the
In if you Yeah, go ahead.
No, that was it. Yeah, it's just the uh, Telegram. It may be good to work with, but maybe other platforms might not be. So, um, is that the hope for the future, that you develop similar swap bots for other platforms?
I am considering that. It's in our roadmap, not in the immediate future, because in the immediate future the goal is to make sure the product works reliably with here on Telegram, right? So
Yeah,
then add additional blockchains, add additional liquidity providers. So basically expand vertically or horizontally, however you would like to see. And then once that is implemented, once we are at that stage on Telegram, then we'll start thinking about other platforms. But yeah, I mean, definitely we want to be on multiple platforms.
yeah. And how many? You know, is it very difficult to, because you're just starting out? You've got a number of projects that are using it. I suppose there's is it thousands or tens of thousands, hundreds of people you need, to kind of prove that it works to everybody. There's a certain point where it kind of just skyrockets, isn't it? And it's getting to that point as the of users using it, isn't it? That's the hard part in the beginning.
Exactly. And I think we are approaching this moment where a lot of people would be familiar with this product, and not only familiar, but actually using in one way or another.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely, I would say that it would need to be in thousands and maybe even more for it to be an established product in the industry.
Yeah, but I find that with a lot of projects, CEOs and team members are working with other groups. I know other people in other groups, so I think the networking side is probably the quickest, for the swap bot, because everybody knows everybody else, and it's a big network that's easy to expand into.
Definitely, that helps as well. Yep, that's yeah. I would agree that that's I would say the major component in expanding the reach.
Now, I noticed when I went onto your website today, um, getting ready for the AMA, I noticed you've got a giveaway. Is that a Gleam contest? Is it, or
Yep,
is it
yep. It is.
what kind?
It is.
What can you tell
It,
us about the contest?
it is a Gleam contest, so that's another part of our strategy. So we'd like to get feedback from people, and uh, we actually would like people to use it to see if they can add it to different groups, and it's part of the contest.
Yeah,
And that would provide us additional feedback, uh, because we're always looking for feedback from users, whether those are issues or maybe something that people think not as straightforward, or maybe some additional functionality that needs to be added. So that was
yeah,
the main reason for us to start this campaign.
yeah.
Yeah, and it just started yesterday, and
All right, great.
yeah, and so there will be 5 people who will be winners. Excuse me. Sorry.
And how long's the competition on for?
For now, it's 2 months, so we may reduce it, but for now, it's set to last 2 months.
Great. Well, hopefully there's some people here um, that are interested in winning some money. I believe it's just is it just they go to the website and they follow you on Twitter and retweet and that kind of thing.
Right. Follow on Twitter, yeah, retweet, and one of the tasks is, as I mentioned, to add the bot to another project's group, obviously with permission of that project's owners, right? So that would give us additional feedback on whether everything is working properly.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tasks.
And is there an end game? What is your you have a roadmap and I know the process you're starting, you're building, but what's the end game? What do you hope to be? To Google to buy you out, or do you hope to expand in different ways? You, have you thought about what your ultimate goal is?
Yeah, definitely. So when I started working on this product on Rapid Swap Bot, my idea was to make it simpler for users, and I mentioned it a couple of times, especially for new users to get into the space. And I want to continue in that path. I want to, in the future after this, maybe add additional products that would help in that way as well. So make it easier for people to get into this space, or maybe those who are already in space, maybe make it easier to use some other products. So I'm not looking to sell it to Google yet. I want,
or to whoever offers.
yeah. So Google.
Yeah, they should do
Uh,
a Twitter swap bot. Yeah, rapid swap bot, shouldn't they? That would be for the future. Yeah,
yep,
maybe.
yep, 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 yeah, and to tell the truth, I am at a point where I don't want to be working at a large company, uh,
Yeah, I
which
mean
I
that's
actually am. Right,
yeah,
I am part of a company right now, which
yeah,
I'm trying to transition to this to Rapid Swap Bot
yeah,
fully. So and then working again for another big company would be a big step backwards. So I
Yeah.
will try to avoid it as much as possible, no matter how much they offer.
Well, goals change. Isn't it? My brother-in-law, he started a pet food company, um, and his original aim was to sell it to another pet food company. You know, once he developed it with enough customer base, that's he just assumed, yeah, that's the kind of normal way of doing it. You know, you build something exciting, you get a good user base, and then the big companies then buy you out for a few millions, and then just carry on with the product. And then you sit down on a beach and retire and do nothing. But then he decided, he ended up not doing that. Turned it into a 20 million pound plus company, and just became a dog wellness company, and focused on dog wellness. So yeah, so with yourself, it's with the DeFi space, it's about making things easier, easier and safer. If there's less risk, so a new person coming into crypto today, and they love the project, and then they can see a way of buying it, and they never need to leave Telegram, and it's just like buying a cup of coffee. It's no big deal. It's not you don't have to learn 20. When I first got into crypto, whenever you had to do so, every time you had to do a new task, it was new information you had to take in, and you had to kind of give yourself some bandwidth to take that information in, because just clicking a few buttons and you've lost money. And nobody likes, everybody hates losing real cash, and dropping a £50, $50 note and whatever, and everybody hates that. And the same with crypto, you click a button and you lose it, or you send it to the wrong place. So I think it's really important to focus on making it easier. So I really congratulate you for the app that you've developed, to make that process one step easier.
Thank you. Really appreciate it, and you phrased it perfectly. Easier and safer. That's what our aim is.
Yeah, and before I scare everybody and ask people to come up to the microphone to ask a question, which people rarely do, but is anything else you'd like to? Is anything I've missed or that you'd like to add? Was there anything you wanted to show?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to demonstrate really quick and show everyone what we meant when we said make it easier. And
Yeah.
I want to demonstrate it first as if someone would go to the bot directly. Like if someone would go to PancakeSwap, they would see global settings, right? So BNB to something else. And then if we would navigate to the bot from a group,
Yeah, that'd be
we would
great.
see the difference right away. So first of all, let me know if you can see my screen.
All right. Hey, I'm looking at my screen thinking it's the same as yours. Right. So I can see.
Yeah.
Let me just close my screens as well,
Yep.
so I'm not looking at the. Okay. So yeah, I can see your screen now. I'm just going to open it up. Yep, I can see that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I can see it.
Perfect. So this is the I went to the bot directly, and what we could do first step would be to run help command just to see all of the commands. It would show basic info about the bot, and from here we could use either swap or buy commands. Those are interchangeable. So if I go to swap from the bot directly, I can choose blockchain. It's not preset. And then we can see that these are global settings, right? So I'm using BNB to buy this stable token. What I could also do, I could change it, and I can show how to change the token really quick. So when I clicked on token to buy, and here I can either search, for example, let's search for cake. So here, if we have it in our database, I can
All right.
select it. If
Oh,
we
so
don't have
that's
it in
good
our
then.
database, yep.
Yeah, that's a good thing. So you're not having to go looking for the
Exactly,
contract.
exactly.
Yeah.
And let's say, for example, if we don't have it in our database, I could enter it. And to do that, I can use this add custom token command.
Yeah.
And for example, let's say I want to add Hummingbird token. So the only thing I need to do is just paste the address, click enter, and we'll automatically look it up. So you can confirm that everything looks good. You can change the name and symbol if you want, but I will confirm it. Right, so here I already added it before.
Yeah.
So right here, it's already here, right? So let me select it. So now I can purchase this token. So now next step for me would be to connect my wallet. So I click on connect wallet. Here are basic instructions, basically what I meant, right? That we never ask for private key or seed phrase. If anyone contacts you on our behalf, know that it's not us. We never do that. We don't want that information. I click on connect wallet. Now there are two ways how to connect, right? You could be using it from a desktop,
Yeah.
Telegram, which I'm doing now. So I would scan this QR code. But if you're on the phone, if you don't have a second device, you don't, and you cannot scan it. Basically, you can use this Wallet Connect link. It would open a website, our website, and it would prompt you to select a wallet on your phone. So you would be able to use it on the
Yeah.
same device if you want. But here, right now, I am going to scan this QR code with my wallet. Okay, so I'm going to Trust Wallet, new connection. Okay, here I'm scanning it. 1, 2, 3. Now I am approving this connection on my phone. And right now, the screen changed. The screen changed. Now it shows that I'm connected here. It
Yeah.
shows my balance. Now I can enter the amount. So let's say I want to spend $3. So this is how much I'm getting. So default slippage is 0.5%, and it'll fail now if I try to use it
Yeah.
because it should be more. But so I guess let me change it right away. Let me change it to 4%, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we change it to 4%, and let me. Oh, I disconnected it. Let me reconnect again. Sorry. Okay, let me reconnect again. I disconnected it with my wallet. Okay, let me do this again. All right. So now I changed the slippage. So now what I can do is I click on swap. Here on this screen, I can confirm that everything looks good. So full disclosure, there is a 0.1% fee on every transaction,
Yeah.
but we are fully integrating with 1inch, so that work is uh, in progress. And 1inch, they offer a lot of options, and a lot of times using 1inch actually saves because they offer best paths, right? So anyway, let me confirm this. Now I get a prompt on my phone, and I click approve, and it's done, right? So I click on, I can click here, view transaction details, and it takes me to block explorer, the DSC scan.
That's
So
really
now
detailed as well. Yeah, it's got everything's there and it looks very clear.
right now, if I wouldn't explain, this process literally takes 10 seconds. And in fact, after I completed it, I had to pay one developer and I had to convert tokens. And my first thought was to use Rapid Swap Bot to do that. And it literally took me under 10 seconds to do that back then. So now let me demonstrate how it works when it's fully configured, and we can go to your group and try it from here. So from here now, before it was BNB to DAI, but I believe you configured HEG to be a default token, right? In your group. Let's try it.
Yes, we'll see.
Yep. So now what happens is if it'll prompt me obviously to navigate back to private mode, because I mean, we don't want everybody to see what we're trying to do. So when I click switch, I click start here, and immediately you see that it's configured. It's already pre-configured for me. Everything is set. From token, to token, even slippage, decimal, so they don't have to ask. The only thing they have to do is connect their wallet, enter the amount, click confirm. That's it. They are done.
Yes,
and
it's really quick.
Under 10 seconds again, 15 seconds max. So that was the idea, to make it as simple as possible, as quick as possible.
Yeah, and it's changing people because the existing buyers are just used to, or regular buyers are used to, traders are used to going to PancakeSwap or NetSwap or to do it. But yeah, this is a really quick way of doing it.
Yep. So yeah. So I mean, I think I don't want to overwhelm with other details, but if anyone has any questions, I will gladly answer them.
Yeah. So we're open up to everybody there. So does anybody have any questions for Ian or myself? And I'll go and check if there's any in any of the groups. Don't be shy. You can type the chat as well. You can type the chat as well. I'm just checking the groups if there are any. Somebody is typing. Oh, somebody is snoring. Yes, that's my dog, who is sat next to my computer, upside down, snoring his head off. I was just getting. I just gave him a nudge earlier because I thought, I wonder if anybody can hear that snoring. But yeah, it's my little dog snoring away. When people listen to the so anybody that's listening to the recording, just to note that there weren't people in the audience just asleep. It wasn't me.
Yep, I can confirm that.
Yeah. Great. So, Arjan is typing again. Yeah, that's right. He's just saying it is quite simple, and it's great to see the demo. I mean, it is. It's like magic. It's a magical moment in DeFi. You know, when I look back to a year ago, you know, buying Hummingbird Finance in the beginning, and everything that you had to learn to do it. You know, certainly once you come away from the you know, like the Binance and crypto.com apps, and then you come into the DeFi world of PancakeSwap. It's you know, even when you go on PancakeSwap, you can end up choosing the wrong token to buy because there's fake ones. You know, so to actually, so it's much safer. It's much safer to actually go to the Telegram group, the official Telegram group, and then and people do. They click buy. They do /buy to see what comes up, and it's usually a video. But now it's the swap bot, and I see it pop up a lot. You know, where people are clicking the buy button.
Right. And every day it's more and more, so it's a good sign. So people are familiarizing themselves, people feel safer to try to use it. So it's a good sign. So I think going forward, the adoption will be even faster.
And the demonstration video that you just did for us here, do you have a video like that already?
So we have short videos on our website on how to do a swap, how to connect wallet, how to configure wallet. Uh, uh, those are with music. Those are like presentational, instructional and presentational, but I am going to record a full video as well. So maybe under, those are 2 minutes each, but I'll record one maybe under 10 minutes where I will show everything, how to do a swap, how to connect from both desktop and mobile, and how to configure it. So maybe
I
over
think
the
what would be
weekend.
helpful. I think what will really be helpful is that we can configure rows that if somebody puts how to buy, it comes up traditionally. It comes up with how to go to Pancake Swap and blah blah blah. But it would be good to have a quick kind of 30-second click 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 kind of your video that we can share, because I think it's important that yes, you've got the buy button, but often people are not really, they maybe not be looking. They see, but they're not looking. So it would be good in the short term, probably to have some kind of, short promo video that we can share. That you may already have it, that we can share
Yeah.
regularly
So
in the group, just as a reminder. How to buy HEG, how to buy our token. You know, use / buy for the buy bot, and it's safe and secure. Just kind of a real short video like that we can just add to the group, and then as a a regular reminder for people that there is an easy way to buy.
definitely, and we already have this one here. It's a
Yeah,
generic, it's presentational with music. It's under 2 minutes, I believe. But what I can do is I can record one especially for your community, uh, uh, and you can decide which one to use, because this one has music. It's really quick, condensed, and I can record one which is a little bit longer. Yeah, and I mean you can basically decide which one to use.
yeah, I'll have a look at that, and then I can incorporate that for when anybody types how to buy, just as a little reminder for people, because then they can see that it's we've got this plugin, it's safe and secure, and then it's kind of that's the step before they then type in the SwapBot code
Yep,
to go and click buy. And
yep,
I think it's important that we kind of just regularly remind people that this exists, because sometimes people may switch off to the notifications that are coming in, not really read them, or there's quite often there's things that are on screen all the time, and people say, "Oh, I didn't know.
mm.
Well, why didn't anybody tell me?" So yeah, I'll add a video on that uh, that comes up when I can do a trigger for Rose to
Sounds good.
display
Sounds
that.
good. Yeah, we can change it if it like will not fully serve the purpose. So this one shows how to swap. This one shows how to connect. And I mean, I can combine them if needed. But we can discuss that obviously.
Great, fantastic. So, yeah, one last time, if I'm sure if people wanted to, oh, it's somebody, right? I'm going into the. Let me just read this. Yeah, why didn't somebody think of this before? Because they didn't have
I don't have an answer for that. Yes.
they didn't have the motivation that you have. That's what it is.
Yeah, I guess it's a
Um,
combination of factors, right? It's wanting to make it simpler and safer, and and that I saw that need in all of these different groups. I guess both of these things together, they matched together and resulted in this.
And it's just like any product as well. You've got to have the idea, then you've got to have the experience to be able to make it happen. And then you've got to have the time to be able to do it. So there's a lot of factors that comes into developing a product, and it's not just about having this whimsical idea. It's how to put it into practice and have the experience and the time and the motivation to do it as well. So
Exactly.
to get to the
Exactly.
point where you are now is actually extremely rare and very difficult to get to where you are now, because the sky's the limit now, because it exists and it's working, and that's the hardest part, is getting to the longest parts to get to that. But somebody's asked something. They're gonna make their own token, right? Is that something that's
Right. So
you've
right
thought
now,
about? Or?
up until this moment, everything was self-funded by me, and partly because most of the things were done by me, and it didn't have like I did not have to fully outsource development, so that helped a lot. But in the future, yes. So there are ideas to launch a token, obviously, to help us with the expansion, to help us to continue develop new products, to basically take this project to the next level. The only thing is that it's not in the immediate future. It's not in our immediate plans. So we don't know when it's going to be, but it is in our plans.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of similar to crowdfunding, isn't it? So that you build it to a certain point, and then when it can't go any further, you can then look at other options then as to which is the best way forward for the next stage.
Exactly. And one of the like the reasoning in the beginning was that additional reasoning was that it was also additional responsibility, uh, uh, and in some cases overhead also.
Yeah.
So I prefer to concentrate on development at this stage, but in the future, yes, in the future,
Yeah.
I think we will be ready for our own token.
Excellent. Well, that's exciting news indeed. Uh, well, we're coming up to the hour now. We've had a few questions. We know who was snoring. But so I'd just like to, thank you, Ian, for it's been a pleasure to chat with you tonight, and I've loved learning just about the history, about where you've come from for the app and where you wanted to go. So I'm looking forward to working with you as the partnership develops with the team, and hopefully we can develop that and make things easier in the long run as well.
Likewise, and I want to thank you also for the partnership and for the opportunity to speak today. It was my pleasure, and I'm also looking forward to. I think we can build a lot of good things together.
Definitely. Great. All right. I'm going to. I'll probably go silent in a moment now because I want to save this without deleting it. So, thank you, everybody. I'm going to stop the recording now and save that, and then I'll share that with you, Ian, so that you can use that. All right.
Sounds
Good
good.
night, everybody.
Okay. Good night.
Where's the video?